Well, Madam Administrator, thank you so much for joining me for this exciting Pride conversation in your home.
Excited to be here with you and host you here at the SBA.
It's nice to have us both in Washington at the same time. I know you've been out talking about SBA and what the administration has accomplished for small businesses in this term, and just everything that you all are doing to make sure that America's small businesses are vibrant and successful. So thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Yeah, no, it's actually my greatest joy is being able to travel, get on the road, and meet with these incredible small businesses. And small businesses are on main streets and in manufacturing centers, and so SBA is on the road, getting to meet with them and share with them what we're doing.
Well, let's maybe start there. In your role as administrator, what do you see maybe as some of the most important opportunities that are out there for LGBTQ plus businesses right now in the marketplace?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, we've been through so much over the last few years, but this is an incredible time for entrepreneurship in this country. There's business dynamism again. We have finally births outpacing deaths, over 18 million new business applications filed since the president took office. And these are converting to establishments, and that means our small businesses are creating jobs. And so, despite challenges in the marketplace, workforce challenges that we face, the pandemic disruptions of supply chain disruptions, the inflationary pressures, there's still an incredible opportunity for growth. And I think making sure that our LGBTQ plus small businesses are aware of the Biden investments in America is one of our main priorities at the SBA, because this spells opportunity, generational wealth building for entrepreneurs in this country. So whether that's the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the roads and bridges and ports and airports that we're revitalizing, rebuilding, and strengthening our infrastructure, those are contracts for small businesses to go after, and those dollars locally will then disperse into local communities as well at more small businesses. But there's also Inflation Reduction Act, historic opportunities in the clean energy economy,
Which I want to talk a little bit about later.
Yes, we'll get into, and as well as the manufacturing. I was just traveling in Chicago. Foster Works, LGBTQ plus business that just acquired a manufacturing facility. They're one of our new business starts.
Awesome.
And they're part of this manufacturing supply chain infrastructure that we're trying to revitalize. So I think there's historic opportunity right now with over $860 billion in private investments, matching all these dollars at the federal level, for folks to just learn more at the SBA.
I have to say, you and your team and your regional directors have done so much at connecting with us and with our affiliates out across America, and I think that's incredibly important. I know you've been working on streamlining some things. Maybe you can share what SBA has done to streamline the processes for LGBTQ plus businesses, other diverse small businesses, to compete and win federal contracts.
Right. Well, I mean, President Biden has always said that, when it comes to entrepreneurship, every idea, every entrepreneur out there needs that opportunity to really grow and build. So when we look at all of SBA programs, we look at it from an equity lens. Equity has been the president's priority since day one. And that includes in the federal spend, putting our money where our mouth is in terms of making sure that small businesses, all of our small businesses are included in the federal contracting opportunities. And we've had historic highs in our contracting levels at the SBA, really being able to deliver billions of dollars more to small businesses and exceeding our goals year after year in the Biden-Harris administration. But it's really about breaking down some of the complexities and perceived complexities, but actual complexities in government contracting. So we've done more to try to improve our business development strategies for small businesses through our networks of district offices, our business opportunity specialists. We've worked with all federal agencies to simplify and create more on-ramps for small businesses, really some historic changes that we've made in our systems. And we're about to launch a new certifications platform to make sure that that initial barrier of getting certified to do business with the federal government, whatever the socioeconomic classification is, that is a process that's easier to use. We want more LGBTQ plus businesses to do business with the federal government and bring the great innovation and skill sets that they contribute to the economy.
And I don't know that enough of our businesses understand that sort of under new guidelines with the 8A program, the ability to draft the narrative is probably more accessible for LGBTQ businesses today than ever before. And I think that's an important point that may get lost in the dialogue, that there is opportunity there. People just have to know about it, learn about it, and then take the right angle at achieving that opportunity to be a part of that program.
Right, that's right. And so, making that first step of reaching out to SBA and at the local level as well through our small business development centers, our women's business centers, our SCORE partners, we've all, and our district offices where a lot of the work happens with the business opportunity specialists, learning about these programs, because you might have multiple opportunities for certification, whether that's the 8A program, service disabled vet, women owned, et cetera.
Yeah, I think that's important too, around intersectionality, and something we talk a lot about. So thank you for that. I think to have a thriving economy, we have to have diversity, and it fuels competition and competitiveness and all of the things that go along with that. What would you say the SBA is doing to ensure that LGBTQ businesses, small businesses in general, are able to compete and succeed in the marketplace?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And our ability to embrace diversity, our ability to really ensure pathways to opportunity for every single American is what's going to strengthen our economy going forward and make us more globally competitive. Because when you leave great ideas or entrepreneurs on the sidelines because you're not funding them or you're not giving them pathways to growth, that means less jobs locally. And in communities that, especially LGBTQ plus businesses who have faced barriers and challenges in the marketplace, I think we all have to, stand up and in alignment to make sure that there's inclusion and that there are marketplaces that allow for diverse businesses to thrive. So we've really focused on equity from a core perspective across our programs, making our programs more accessible to all, whether that's the capital programs, which we've had massive reforms in to simplify, cut red tape, expand competition in our lending networks, which is
working.
important. Yes. You need to be able to have alternatives, not just one, option of a lender. And so that has really helped. We've increased by 30% our small dollar loans, which is critical for especially startups. We've increased our networks of lenders as well, especially our mission lenders who might give you that first break. And give you that first loan. And same with all of our programs. We've just tried to, at a core level, understand that we have to reflect the marketplace and respond to their needs more in a way that's entrepreneurial. As our businesses have had to pivot and adapt, let's pivot and adapt to make those changes. And I'm so proud of the work we've done around technology as well, because small businesses adopted technology at such high rates during the pandemic. So you can go to Lender Match at sba.gov and connect to a lender online and get pre-screened for eligibility, really simplify the process for our lenders and our borrowers. So we're really trying to make it as easy as possible so we meet our businesses where they are, everywhere that they are.
It's interesting too, because the narrative that's out there right now around equity and diversity is such a false narrative on the opposing side. They don't talk about the jobs, the taxes, the infrastructure that's being provided for in part by diverse-owned businesses. I think about it not just during Pride Month, but all year long. People think all LGBTQ people are that all I do, I'm just gay all day, that's all I do, which I am. But we also own businesses, we employ people, we offer health care, we're a part of that small business engine that makes local, state, and the national economy run.
1.7 trillion, right?
Exactly.
Strong.
$1.7 trillion. What do you see as small businesses, and LGBTQ small businesses, ability and responsibility in promoting sustainability?
It's everyone's responsibility, as we want to make sure that we can have a livable planet into the future. And so often our underserved communities are the ones most impacted by disasters. SBA deals with disasters on a regular basis because in addition to the small business supports, we also help communities recover from disaster. And that means providing affordable, low-cost, long-term loans to businesses, but as well to their communities, renters, homeowners. They need those employees employees and customers back on their feet as well. So holistically, we provide that financial relief during a disaster. And so we're seeing it firsthand. Last year we put out $3 billion in loans to disaster impacted communities. And that's unexpected, debt that small businesses have to take on. So the more that we can all contribute to sustainable practices to help, achieve the president's goals, of a sustainable economy, are increasingly important. So small businesses have a role in even just their own energy efficiency and how they're, using energy and sustainable practices overall. SBA has developed resources at sba.gov. We have a Invest in America hub that we've created so that you can go and find out about whether you're a manufacturer. Perhaps you can get some credits, grants available through Department of Energy to convert. You can use SBA's 504 program, and we've removed the limits and caps on the number of projects you can do for energy efficiency or just environmental related climate projects. And so we are really leaning in to make sure that businesses have the resources that they need to help us build a more sustainable economy.
So you already kind of answered my follow-up question there, but I think it's important because most people, when they think of disaster, they think of FEMA. Mm-hmm. They don't know, maybe on the surface, that SBA is right there immediately as well. And you sort of answered some of this already, but what else is SBA doing to support these efforts of small businesses becoming more sustainable?
Yeah. Well, we know that in the Inflation Reduction Act, we've invested heavily, as well as the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. We've invested heavily in building sustainable infrastructure and helping small businesses and homeowners and manufacturers, convert to energy efficiency. There are incredible tax credits and rebates available for homeowners. We want the businesses, the small businesses, who are the tradespeople who are going to be installing those HVACs or installing those energy efficient windows or solar panels. We want them to be able to learn about these rebates and credits so that they can help their communities convert. But we also know that there's historic investments in the clean energy economy of the future. Our small businesses are innovators. They're coming up with the clean tech of the future. So SBA has America's Seed Fund that we power through multiple agencies where you can get innovation grants for your climate tech. We want to make sure that those innovators out there know about that program at the SBA. We also have investment dollars and accelerator programs for those innovators who are going to help us with the clean energy economy of the future. But for everyday mom and pop small businesses, there are opportunities for you to help convert and save money on your energy costs by converting, adding solar. And SBA loans are perfect for helping you support that transition, which will pay for itself in the end. So we're happy to work with small businesses through the SBA and through our lending networks to support that. And keep in mind that there's some incredible grant dollars that just went out through the Greenhouse Reduction Fund, the EPA's $27 billion program.
Wow.
A lot of SBA lenders received those dollars as well, our mission lenders and our other partners. And we want to make sure that SBA, coupled with these great programs, can really help small businesses, now more than ever, as we try to prevent climate change.
And so we've had affiliates from all over the country. We have 54, as you know, across the U.S. that are supporting our conversation today and sharing it with their networks. Everything that we've been talking about so far can be found at sba.gov.
That's correct.
And with their local SBA office, they can reach out to us and we can make that connection. There's just some really incredible programs that I think, as much as we talk about them, I don't think we're even talking about them enough, because
Correct.
As I sit with you every time, I learn more and more, and I thought I was pretty up to speed on everything that was available
that's
to
why
our
our
businesses.
partnership is so important, because constantly getting the word out and information. And I never have enough time to talk about all the great programs at the SBA, but come in and discover what we have to offer.
Along those lines, sort of what do you see coming down the pipeline that's either, I don't know, hopeful or concerning? What are you planning for the remainder of 2024? Mm-hmm. What could happen beyond?
Mm-hmm. Well, what I would say is that, I'm very hopeful about this economy, and I agree completely with President Biden. When he defines America, it's one word: possibilities, and that is entrepreneurship. In inspiring and ensuring that those who are ready to jump in and start their business or commit and grow their business, that they know that there's support networks around them, that there's an administration that supports their efforts in growing their business and grow, whether that's growing with the federal government with contracting or growing, leveraging these incredible investments that are happening, or just, growing in your local economy. We want to make sure that we're building the brands of the future at the SBA. And, I'm very hopeful because this entrepreneurship, small business boom that's happening has been sustainable the entire years that the Biden-Harris administration has been
Incredible
in
numbers.
office. Yes.
Incredible
And
numbers.
we have now the record for the first, second, third, and going on the fourth of small business applications, and that's a reversal, because pre-pandemic everyone was worried because our deaths were outpacing births, and we're not having the types of startups. So for people to believe in the future and people to have hope, I see it. When I traveled around the country, I've met with a lot of these new business starts, and they're of course gritty, determined entrepreneurs.
It's the best part about talking with entrepreneurs.
But that's hope and that's optimism in the future, and I think that's what people should focus on and understand. And it's really that will create the jobs. They're jumping in and pursuing opportunities is what will continue to spur our economy.
I think we see that too. There's so much angst out there and negativity in the echo chamber, and I have to think about what's life like outside of the bubble here. And entrepreneurs are hopeful, especially LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs. They're hungry, they're scrappy, they're ready to get in the ring and fight and succeed. And it's, I think, what gets me up every day, and I know it's what gets you up every day, because your travel schedule, I think, is one of the craziest in the administration. Maybe just as we wind down today, it is Pride Month, and as a longtime ally, and I mean all year long, for many years, not just the month of June, you've been there in numerous roles. What does being that ally, what does Pride Month mean to you?
So I grew up in what I would consider an underdog community, the underserved communities that we talk about. But having come from that experience, I know how much grit and determination you have to overcome barriers. And I have great empathy and great pride when I see communities thrive and be their authentic selves, and be able to take space and contribute in such significant ways to our country. I know that with that passion, with that determination, our country is on the right track to really have global success. And so it's my lifelong goal to make sure that there is inclusion, that there is opportunity for all, because I've seen personally with my family and their entrepreneurial pathway, how owning a small business has really changed our trajectory. And I'm so proud of my family, my grandfather, my grandmother, my parents as well, for what they've been able to accomplish. And I see that similarly with the LGBTQ plus communities. Incredible barriers faced on a regular basis. You see the laws that the local states have been trying to enact. These attacks, cannot stand. I mean, we need to stand together because diversity is our strength. And there's nothing greater than seeing that underdog story prevail. And that's what I feel about all of our diverse communities. And that's why Pride Month is so special to me, because it's our chance to celebrate those people who have that extra grit and determination to be resilient and withstand.
There's a great meme going around, again, I think, really. It's sort of Groundhog Day on some of the stuff that the other side's throwing at us. But it says, if you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. What purpose is it of yours there? And I just have to say, as we close, one, thank you so much for your continued leadership, and not just for LGBTQ plus small businesses, but across the board. You are everywhere and more, and it really is appreciated, and something I will never forget. And I've been in DC 30 years, so the awe and excitement factor's not always there anymore, right? But I remember getting a call from your office, and it was after President Biden, or after Congress had passed and President Biden was going to sign the Respect for Marriage Act. And your office said, are you, the administrator would like to invite you to the event. And I said, oh, I'm already going. And then they were like, no, she wants to invite you to the event to sit with her at the event. So instead of being back halfway down the lawn, we were right up front. And I will always remember that. And it absolutely was a delight and an excitement for someone who's been in DC now for 30 years. So I will always be grateful for that, for your leadership, for your championing of America's small businesses, and our ability to succeed under, extenuating circumstances sometimes. So thank you, Administrator.
Oh, you're welcome. And happy Pride Month. And thank you for your partnership.
Likewise.